What up, fam? Chief X at you again. So, I just wanted to make a video and go on a rant, right? Let me shut my damn door. Yeah, I just felt like ranting today. Because I be sitting back thinking. And I'm like, a lot of these black Americans in the so-called conscious community is straight shameful and liars. Suffering from low self-esteem, confused about their identity and who they are and where they come from. Half the people are not confused. They're just bullshitting and hotep hustling you. Okay? I ain't scared of y'all. I am not scared of y'all. Check this out. I have nothing against Dr. Ben teaching history, teaching Egyptian history. I have no problem with that. It's fine to teach and study history no matter what color or race you are. That's a great thing. If you want to learn about Thailand and study about it, that's fine and great. You want to learn about Egypt, you want to learn about Canada, Brazil, all that is fine and great. My problem is when you begin to claim another culture or people or race, when you begin to claim that that's you or related to you and disown what really is you and related to you. That's my problem. Now, I used to be part of the clique who pushed ancient Egyptian information. I was a victim of brainwashing just like the rest of y'all. And it's okay. I got comedic tattoos all over my arm, and that's fine. It's part of my journey. Okay? Now, culture vulture stuff is what I have a problem with in 2021. I changed several years ago. I even doubled down on my change when I went to Ghana and I visited all the museums. And when I went to those four museums, I didn't see not one ancient Egyptian symbol. I didn't see anything related to the culture of the ancient Egyptians or Nubians in any of the museums in Ghana I went to. So I'm tripling down now. Let me just say this. Dr. Ben brainwashed us, black Americans. He wasn't wrong for teaching history, but he was wrong for claiming it's us. And all these people over all these decades who've been back and forth to Egypt on educational tours and trips have been lying and co-signing Dr. Ben's lies. Because they've been to the museums in Egypt. They've seen the walls and the tombs and things like that. They've seen a lot of depictions that look black and white, but they cherry-picked only dark melanated images and pushed those, and have been pushing those for decades. There are more pale images of Egyptians than there are dark melanated images. Okay? Now, here's the gist of my rant today. Nobody in Africa claims to be the ancient Egyptians or descending from the ancient Egyptians. Brazilians don't claim to be the ancient Egyptians or descend from them. Australians don't. Nobody makes this claim in these modern times except Black Americans, who are the most confused about their identity in recent history. Only Black Americans. I mentioned Ghana, they don't claim none of that shit. Nigerians don't claim none of that shit. And they live on the continent. What's wrong with Black Americans? Black Americans, with their low self-esteem and their identity, have been culture vultures. And we need to admit this and move forward. We claim to be the Moors, the Native Americans, the original Chinese, whatever the fuck that's supposed to mean. We've claimed everybody's culture except our own. People took on comedic names for a fucking reason. But today people will start backpedaling. Oh, we're not claiming that we're them. Bullshit. I've already showed what you guys consider master teachers claiming that we are the Egyptians. So ain't no backpedaling unless you're correcting them. If you're not correcting them, you're on the same line and doing the same bullshit today. So people think because you say African culture, you're talking about us. No, buddy. Nah, sis. It don't work like that. Just let me give you some examples. You have a continent, Africa. You have the continent, Americas. You have the continent, Asia. There's many races in cultures, in countries, in Asia. So, let me give you an example. People from Kazakhstan do not claim to be the same people as Indians in India. They don't claim to be the same people just because they're on the same continent. Let me look at my map. Chinese don't claim to be the Indians, and they're in the same close location. People from Burma don't claim to be Pakistani because they're on the same continent. People from Iran don't claim to be Chinese. People from Mongolia don't claim to be Afghanistan. People in Cambodia don't claim to be Russians. Russians don't claim to be the same people as Turkey. Iraq people don't claim to be the same people as, say for instance, Thailand people or Chinese people or Kazakhstan people or Uzbekistan people. People in France don't claim to be the same person as in Ukraine. Everyone has their own shit they rep. Except Black Americans. We're not even the Nubians. The Kushites. So when I make this example of a Filipino lady and a Mexican lady don't claim to be the same people just because they have similar skin tone and the same exact fucking hair texture and color. Black Americans are the only people on the planet Earth who think just because another people has kinky hair and dark skin that we're just all fucking same. No, we're not. Let's go further. Nobody on the continent of Africa claims to be the ancient Egyptians, and they're on the continent. The people in Congo don't claim to be descendants of the ancient Egyptians. People in Niger, Mali, Nigeria, Angola, Namibia, Botswana, Zimbabwe, South Africa, they don't claim to be the ancient Egyptians. Only Black Americans do this. And all their names that they chained self to fits. They lined up their name with ancient Egypt. They named their scholarship groups after ancient Egypt. For example, the Amun-Ra Squad. That's not no West African name. They named themselves that in the beginning because they thought they related to the ancient Egyptians. Team Osiris. They named themselves that initially because they thought they were somehow related genetically or culturally or descendants of the ancient Egyptians. Let's just be honest for a second. I've been in the movement since 1992. So talk that dumb shit to somebody else who don't know and know the progress we've been doing over the decades. Everybody got these comedic names for a fucking reason. Let's be real with each other. Because everyone feels that they're related genetically in some kind of way or descendants of the ancient Egyptians, and we are not. Not even close. We're not even the Nubians. We're not related. There's no cultural relation. There's no genetic relation. Science, bitch. You niggas talk all this motherfucking science shit, but you can't get up off that bullshit of ancient Egypt. I'm not saying don't study it, or it's not cool to study it. That's fine. Study all cultures and countries and histories and things. That's a great thing. But once you claim it's you, or descend from you, or your ancestors, that's when you fuck up. So why none of these cultures on the continent of Africa claim to be the ancient Egyptians? None of all these people in Asia, not all these people in Brazil, okay? Nobody claims to be ancient Egyptians except Black Americans. That's why they took on the fucking comedic names. They're groups. All the shot callers took on Senator. For decades, all these videos and shows you've been watching Senator with a comedic name. Amun-Ra Squad, Team Osiris. Everybody's master teachers. Y'all know I'm spitting some real shit. Let's talk. So it's a new day. So I'm telling people all year long, 2021 is going to be the year of big feelings. And I ain't finished. I just been taking a break. But I'm about to come for some people hard. And it's not that big of a deal. All you got to do is get honest. And give yourself a reprieve from this wrath. Okay? We're not genetically related to Nubians or the Sudanese people. That's just a fucking fact. You can't even debate me on that. We're not genetically related to no Ethiopians, Eritreans. That's a fact I'm spewing. It's not just me just talking. And everyone into science knows this. Dr. Ben brainwashed 1 million people. I've changed to the point where I don't call none of these people master teachers. My favorite scholar, who's actually a real scholar, is Dr. Amos Wilson, because he speaks about the psychology of the mind. He's a psychologist. And he spits some real stuff pertaining to us. All these cats, Ivan Van Sertima, Dr. Ben, Mfudishi, Baba Heru, all these elder, Dr. Walt, and he's not even a real doctor, Dr. Walter Williams. He the one that was writing books and talking about we have to claim ancient Egypt. I got a video on that. You know Chief X ain't lying. He said we have to claim ancient Egypt, and everyone followed suit. Everyone followed suit. You look on social media and all these comedic names and pictures and people wearing Egyptian headdress and shit, making them all black and doing all this old fuckery because of the low self-esteem and having an identity crisis. Science tells you who you descend from. What is the fucking confusion? You're West Central Africans who had nothing, absolutely nothing at all to do with ancient Egypt. Your ancestors had nothing to do with ancient Egypt or Nubia, Sudan, Kush, whatever you want to call it. Your ancestors had nothing to do with it. Now, if you want to just get technical and claim everybody as your ancestors, well, you might as well claim Russians as your ancestors. Chinese are your ancestors. Everybody's your ancestor. If you want to be technical and say we just fundamentally everybody's Africa because the humans came out of Africa. If you want to be technical. If you want to be technical, call white folk Africans. But you don't do that. What group in Australia claims to be the ancient Egyptians? And they older than you and than y'all. What group in Brazil claim to be ancient Egyptians? What black Brazilians? What Afro-Brazilians claim that? What group of people in Nigeria, Ghana, Mali claim to be? Now, you have some folklore by some Yoruba people talking. But it's like one group out of 1,000 groups. You can't just lean on that, on some fucking folklore story. Out of all these stories, you want to lean on that one story. And Hotep hustle us. All these so-called smart people still lying. One other thing. I need to see degrees from a few people. Because they have claimed that they have at least a bachelor's degree. I've never seen it. You're not obligated to show it. But I need to see your bachelor's degree from Reggie Mabry out in New York that be on Saturday TV. I need to see your bachelor's degree. You claim to have one. No one's seen it. I need you to show that. I don't have no beef with you, Reggie, or anybody if you ever get wind of this or whatever. But I need to see degrees from people who claim to have degrees. We're going to stop this bullshit, y'all. I need to see Harold Johnson, Asar Imhotep's bachelor's degree on paper. I'm not saying he don't have one. I just never see it. I need to be solidified in my mind that these people have a bachelor's degree who've been saying they have a bachelor's degree but haven't shown it. I'm not saying Harold, sorry, Imhotep don't have one. I need to see it. All these cats with doctor before their name are not doctors. So you can't blame me for wanting to see proof for niggas who talking about they got bachelor's degrees. They talking about they frat brothers and sorority sisters and but we never see nobody hanging out with these frat brothers and soror sisters and their degrees, and I don't see it. That's all I'm saying. Tell Brother Reggie Mabry, which Sinetta calls Dr. Reggie, to show his bachelor's degree to the people. Since he claimed, I've heard him claim this several times over the years, that he had a bachelor's degree. Now, the guy who calls himself Dr. Ali Muhammad, I think he does have a degree from Temple. I'm not even positive, but he showed something that he had a science degree, but science was spelled wrong on it. And they say he does have a degree. I need to see that. Any nigga who claimed to have a bachelor's degree, what is the problem with you showing it? You niggas got a lot of skeletons in your closet. Let's just be real. We remodeling all this shit. Start listening to college professors on YouTube and stop putting fucking hope in pushing fuckery and revise history from people. Because people aren't qualified. They sound good on YouTube and social media, but they're not qualified. You have actual PhDs you can listen to today. I used to say I'm Chief X, the God Best reincarnated. I don't even use that shit no more. I'm Chief X, that's my nickname. I'm a cyber village chief. Right, so let's talk. Let me look at this map again before I get off this phone. Namibia, Zambia, Angola, Botswana. These places, if they have museums, none of that ancient Egyptian shit is in there. You go to Egypt for that, where the culture was. What's wrong with y'all, black Americans, being the only people on planet Earth repping this shit and stealing this shit and claiming it to be as you? Nobody's asked you guys to change your name. That's where you were at when you got your name. You were at a certain point. But if you're not evolving mentally, progressing, it's your mental evolution should show in your scholarship and in your talk. And if people are still claiming to be ancient Egyptians, and still in this culture, they're stagnant. They're stagnant and have not evolved and matured mentally. That's what it's all about, evolving and maturing in all ways. You mature in your scholarship, you mature in your intent, you mature in your business, you mature in your business endeavors, you mature in your conversations with people because you want to line shit up right and correctly. And get out of fantasy land. La la land. Y'all stagnant. You've been stagnant. You niggas ain't talking about parenting nowhere on social media. You're not talking about business. Only time you talk politics is when it's a election season. You guys are off course from what's real. Off course. I'd stop even fucking with and listening to certain shit. Who gives a fuck about ancient Egypt in reality? If that's just a hobby of yours, cool. But it's not changing your life. It's not improving your life. And it never will. Ancient Egypt is fucking dead. The language, the culture is dead. It just is. You're wishful. That's what you is. You're wishful and you're full of shame. I don't even give a fuck about you niggas talking about you initiated. Most of you niggas talking about you initiated is full of motherfucking shit. You uppity. You think you better than. And the only reason you got initiated is to try to show off and think you better than. Yeah, Ben Black Panther and his bitch ass. This nigga one day blocked me behind some silly ass shit. So I don't give a fuck about a lot of these cats. They're full of shit. Ben, or they call Black Panther, is a religious zealot. Sanjetti, a religious zealot. I don't give a fuck if it's Ifa or not. It's a belief system. I don't give a fuck if it's European, Brazilian, African. I don't give a fuck what it is. It's all religious talk. And you up out here fronting like y'all better than. I'm initiated. Who gives a fuck? I'm still wiser than you. I'm still better than you. I still do more than you. Man, all this old shit people talk. Work with the kids, the youth. You niggas ain't never even worked with kids or the goddamn youth. I have. For 10 years, a whole fucking decade, I was nothing else but a youth counselor. You niggas dream about the kind of work I didn't put in with youth all over South Central Los Angeles and Los Angeles. I go to a mall right now, and it's a 40-year-old or some 30-something-year-olds will run up to me. I remember you. You told me this. You gave me this advice. You niggas just talking that dumb shit. I was actually knee-deep in it. I'm sick of it all. I'm a part of the Black American community. I'm not one of these hotep hustlers. I don't even care about this. Hotep's a sacred word. Shit. Hotep is a sacred word. Why you disrespect? Nigga, you not Egyptian. That's not your language. You ain't got shit to do with it. If I say fuck Sanskrit, y'all don't care. This is how nitpicky and fake y'all is. One day I made a post, this some years ago. I said the word namaste, that's Hindu Indian. But all the sisters at this time was namaste, namaste. Fuck namaste, that ain't my language. Or part of my culture. Nobody said it. But when you say fuck Hotep, he said fuck Hotep. He's disrespecting the whole... Oh, nigga, you ain't Egyptian. That is your language. Egyptians don't even say hotep. The fuck is you talking about, Black American? Sacred. It's sacred. Shut the fuck up. I'm sick of this ancient Egypt talk. And again, I'm not saying don't study it. Don't be interested in certain different cultures. I'm saying stop claiming it as you. Stop creating these comedic names for yourself. It's okay to make a video and say, you know what? I used to believe this. You know what? I was a little wrong. This is the way I feel and think today. That is fine to do. But foolish pride. These Negroes got foolish pride. So they feel like if I denounce this or, just keep some real shit, then all this shit I've been teaching about, all these books or book I wrote and all this old bullshit, it's going to seem like I was just wrong. So I can't do that. I got to double down on it and hold the line. No, you got to grow up. You got to evolve. You got to mature. I don't have a problem with people teaching a meta-netta. That's a good thing. It's learning. That's fine. Y'all get my point? Nobody on planet Earth claims to be the ancient Egyptians except Black Americans. White folk don't even claim that. Don't tell me no shit about no 1900 century scholar and some shit back in 1800s. Don't tell me no shit like that. In 2021, white folk do not claim to be the ancient Egyptians. Only Black Americans do. That's just the reality. We are the most confused people with an identity crisis. It's just reality. So, in recovery, they say, hey, first you got to admit that you're an addict. And then you can start to recover and change. But if you're in denial about being an addict, you're going to continue to get high and ruin your life because you think you don't have a problem. So you're going to continue. First step into recovery and change is to admit wrong, admit you have a problem, admit you have an addiction, then do something about it and change. Dr. Ben brainwashed us. And everyone following him continued on the practice. Most did it unknowingly. And I don't fault them because I was of some certain beliefs. But you cats who traveled and been to Egypt, I don't really give you no pass. You know better. You've been there. You've been to the museums and you've seen it. That's why like Anthony Browder don't talk none of that shit. He talked to the Black American community when he's in Egypt dealing with them Arabs and them Berbers and them other races. He don't talk none of that shit when he's there. You can't find one video of him talking that shit he talked to us while he's there with other people. None of these cats will do that. They know you lack the information. They know you are naive. They know you are gullible, so they'll kick that hotep hustle shit to you. They won't go nowhere else talking that shit. You've never seen any, whether you call them a master teacher or not, talking that shit to people in Egypt and to Arabs or Berbers. or PhDs who specialize in Egyptology. PhDs that specialize in Egyptology will give some credit to the Nubians, but even they don't say anything about you West Central Africans, and you know that. Kiss my ass. I'm out.